Hello guys and welcome back to, I believe this is part 4 or part 5, I can't quite remember, but this is more stuff to do with Zombie Apocalypse, some ideas and stuff like that. Now, basically when it comes to the members of your group, you know, some people are going to be good at some things, some people are going to be bad at others, so it's very important to give the right tasks to the right people in your group. So for example, if someone's really good with melee weapons, then possibly have them teach people in melee weapons. Don't give them something like ranged weapons which they may not be practiced at. You know, that's just an example. Also, a main issue to deal with zombies is people are going to lose a lot of people, you know. Loved ones are going to die, you never know when they could be killed, and people are going to have a lot of pent-up anger that they're going to want to release. So, if possible, maybe you know, stop people going off on one and putting themselves in risk. Try and figure out a way they can deal with the pent-up anger. I don't know, maybe get a punching bag hung up or something. You know, something to help them take their anger out on, instead of having it all pent up, because you leave anger pent up and eventually it's going to get better at you, and you're going to be in such a rage you're not going to listen to what anyone says, and you're going to go out and do something stupid which could either get you killed, or it could get someone else killed because they're going after you, you know, like trying to calm you down or something like that. So, you know, you got to be very careful with these kind of things. Now, another thing which I can't stress more of: don't drink and drive. That is just a stupid thing to do. Putting someone who's drunk in the wheel of a car is just a very bad move, because if they end up crashing or something like that, then that's going to put your group in jeopardy, because, you know, that vehicle's going to be crashed. It could get completely knackered, they could go off the road, get you all injured, and you could end up trapped, surrounded by zombies. You never know. You know, they could accidentally drive off a bridge and fall down into a valley. You might miraculously survive or something, but surprise, surprise, all around you is undead and everything all around the car, and you've got to crawl out of that car because it's upside down or something like that. You pretty much dead meat, you know. So don't drink and drive. And also, when it comes to drinking and stuff like, you know, people do want to have a drink because it helps them unwind and stuff like that, but be careful with it, you know. Don't have everyone drinking at once. The reason why you don't want that is because if zombies come, it's a lot harder to focus when you're drunk. Or if they're on any kind of drugs, for example. Now, I don't really suggest drugs in a zombie apocalypse. That's a big no-no. I mean, like, you know, drugs and stuff in terms of medication, you know, that's different, you know, if they need it. But, you know, like drugs and stuff like cocaine or whatnot, you know, that's a big no-no. Same with getting, like, everyone in the group drunk, you know, that's a big no-no, because, you know, if you're under attack and you're intoxicated, that's going to really affect your capacity to be able to defend yourselves and move around and basically do stuff. And so, don't let everyone get completely drunk. Don't give them too much to drink. Like, allow them to have a drink, but not everyone in the group at once. Keep some people sober, so those that are intoxicated and stuff like that aren't out there risking themselves. You know, you got the people who aren't drunk, and then they're going to go out there and basically defend the group and whatnot. Now, just trying to think, conserving food. Now, this is a big thing. You know, like, people don't recommend eating leftover foods. Like, some foods can't be reheated and whatnot. But in Zombie Apocalypse, don't make a meal bigger than everyone's gonna eat. Make a meal where, you know, everyone's gonna eat it, and any stuff that could be recooked or reused for food, use it. Every scrap of food counts. You never know when those scraps of foods that you've been reusing could come in handy. You know, if you haven't even stored away something, your group ends up with a food problem, you've still got the scraps there to eat. You know, so conserve as much food as possible whenever possible. And, you know, if you're ever travelling around now, most people will be like, you know, you'll have a rucksack or something carrying your supplies and stuff. Think about a hat. If you get a hat with a high top or something like that, well, obviously you're not going to walk around in a top hat, but like with a bit of a top bit, like if you had a cowboy hat, you know, any kind of hat that has a bit of space between your head and wearing it, hide some food in there, or possibly a weapon or something like that that could help you defend yourselves. Like, I don't know, maybe on the inside of your hat you could basically, if you knew how to sew some, I don't know, like some kind of thin scalpel knife or something like that on the inside of your hat, and use masking tape or whatnot, you know, that's an extra weapon there. So say for example you ever find yourself unarmed, you've got a weapon at least, and if you ever get captured, you know, that item in your hat that people won't expect you to have, you know, you take it off, you got a weapon in there, cut the ropes, you're free or something like that. Also, another thing I'd like to bring up is practice makes perfect. You know, not everyone's going to be brilliant at surviving a zombie apocalypse. You're not going to be good at every single task. Practice makes perfect. You know, practicing is good for everybody. Keeps you up. Say you've not had much action for a while. You know, there's not really been any zombie attacks. You've not had many zombie fights and stuff like that, you know. You're getting a bit rusty because you're not putting your combat techniques to use. You know, say you've been huddled down in your base for a certain amount of time, you're not got to worry about supplies or anything like that. Just keep people practicing, so at least they're keeping some form of momentum on the brain for that kind of job that they would normally do. Also, it helps them get better because, you know, you can always get better. No matter how good you are, there is always a way to get better at something. Now, this one's a bit iffy. It's a bit optional, so execute this idea at your own risk. Leave directions to a safe place. Now, the reason why I say leave this at your own risk, that safe place, if people see it, you know, some people could go there as survivors, and they could be good people. But you could also get the bad people that come as well. They might act all innocent, you know, blend in with the crowd of survivors who are looking for help and whatnot, and the next minute they could turn on you. So execute this at your own risk, and be very strict about searching people down for weapons. Be very serious on that, because, you know, you don't want tons of new people walking around with the weapons. You never know when they could turn or anything on you. Also, keep your weapons in good condition. I cannot stress this enough. Make sure you keep your weapons in condition. You know, sharp weapons are going to blunt after a certain amount of time, and that means less slashing and a lot harder to kill a zombie. Also, another thing is, it's just, you know, that weapon's not going to last you forever. A baseball bat is eventually going to get tired and knackered from being used, so keep your weapons in good condition whenever you can. And remember, you can't take them all. If you're really seriously outnumbered by a big group of survivors or a big group of zombies and you're seriously outnumbered, don't be stupid and try and take them all on. Just defend yourself to the ability that you need to, and just move on. Don't take the risk and try and take them all out, because that's going to put you in serious danger. And also, stop, look and listen. You know, don't just go head on charging into a place. Stop, look and listen around. Listen for movements. Look around. Keep your eyes peeled around corners for anything that could just pop up at you. You know, stop and consider things carefully. You never know when someone could have laid a booby trap or anything nearby, so be careful as you can. Now, dangers are around every turn. Every turn there's going to be a danger somewhere, whether it's something you can trip on, whether it's you know, a threat to you, an animal perhaps. You know, there's dangers around every turn, so remember to keep your guard up. Keep yourself ready to defend yourself or react to any kind of situation. Now, some doors, you know, people will do booby traps with shotguns behind doors or something like that, where you open that door, booby trap goes off, and basically shotgun shoots you. Or it could be a pistol or anything. You know, some people do know how to make these kind of booby traps and stuff like that, so that's just what you do if you're going to open the door. instead of being stupid and just opening the door and charging straight into that door, I suggest what you do is possibly open the door with your back against the wall, like open it with one hand, and just use your fingers to push the door open, just to make sure. And if there is anything on the other side, it could expose itself by reacting to the door opening, and you know someone's there. You know, someone could hear you coming, they could be waiting behind that door. You're going to open the door, they could swing through with a weapon, you know, in hesitation, not hesitation, in anxiousness, you know, to make sure they defend themselves, and you can see that weapon come slide through, and then that's your chance to move in while they've already swung, make them drop the weapon, and then basically hold them at your mercy, basically, and basically help them out by making a fair trade, or maybe leaving them alone. Or if you're really just one of those people that just wants to take advantage of there being no law, and you're one of those horrible people, then obviously you're going to do, I don't even have to say what you're going to do, because, you know, you're one of those kind of people, but, you know, be a good person in Zombie Apocalypse. Goodness is a lot better than being bad. Being good to people and not being an arsehole and a jerk is a lot beneficial to the group in making people like you than basically, you know, you're kind of making yourself a lone wolf with your back against the wall, because people don't like people who are jerks and stuff like that. They're hard to get on with, and people don't like them, and you end up having a row, and that person's really going to dislike you. You never know when they could actually decide, you know, I've had enough of this, and they could attack you or anything. So, you know, be a nice person whenever possible. Don't always just be the guy who just wants to annoy everyone and basically be mean and stuff like that. You know, be a good guy. Now, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. I think I'll stop it here. I've been going on for quite a while, so thank you very much, guys, for watching. Peace.